With just under a month to go until Taiwan's presidential election, a senior Taiwan security official says Beijing is ramping up its efforts to interfere in the contest. This as voters face a choice between the current ruling party and two opposition parties that favour China. Will Ripley explains.
From the Taiwan Strait to the South China Sea, saber-rattling and rising U.S.-China tensions. Beijing says the U.S. Navy illegally intruded its territorial waters, mobilizing China's military to track an American warship near the hotly contested Spratly Islands, nearly 700 miles away from the Chinese coast. A People's Liberation Army statement says the U.S. deliberately disrupted the situation in the South China Sea. The U.S. Navy says the ship was conducting routine operations in international waters consistent with international law. Taiwan keeping a close eye on the latest regional standoff between two global superpowers. Beijing's expanding military exercises and persistent incursions setting the stage for a powder keg. Taiwan bracing for potential conflict, developing its first indigenous submarine, hoping to stop China from blockading the island. Taipei says Beijing is bolstering its military might on the sea, beefing up air bases, deploying drones and fighter jets near the island. A new report from Taiwan's defense ministry says the Chinese military uses realistic combat training and exercises to strengthen its preparedness against Taiwan. An island democracy China's communist rulers claim as their own territory despite never controlling it, even unveiling a blueprint plan for one day integrating Taiwan, all on the verge of what could be its most crucial presidential election ever. Three political parties battling for the hearts, minds, and votes of nearly 24 million Taiwanese. Last month, a nail-biting political showdown playing out live on screens across Taiwan. Rival leaders storming out, flinging accusations, the clock ticking toward a crucial registration deadline. Two opposition parties seen as friendly to China, failing to find common ground, paving the way for a three-way race. The ruling party, seen as tough on China, taking the lead in early presidential polls.
China policy will always be the single most important issue in Taiwan's presidential elections.
Taiwan's ruling party promotes peace through military strength, prioritizing partnership with the U.S. over economic opportunities across the strait. The opposition says voters are choosing between war and peace.
The mainland has always been a paradox for Taiwan. It's not only its biggest security threat, it's also its biggest economic partner.
A delicate, dangerous dance. The U.S., China, and Taiwan. The stakes could not be higher. Now, in addition to military shows of force like the late-night display that we saw on Friday night, a Taiwanese official speaking to CNN says that Beijing is also ramping up its push to interfere in next month's presidential election and encouraging operatives to do so in a more discreet manner so that they cannot be traced back to the mainland. Now, Beijing has long been accused by Taiwan of employing this three warfare strategy: public opinion warfare, psychological warfare, and legal warfare, in addition, of course, to the very real and looming threat of a military conflict. CNN reached out to China's Taiwan Affairs Office for comment. So far, no response. Will Ripley, CNN, Taipei.